recently reviewed the Benjamin Moore paint color Muslin, and today I'm going to give you a palette pyramid utilizing this color along with 5 other colors in a wonderful paint people pyramidal fashion. Pyramidal is now a word. I recently reviewed Muslin by Benjamin Moore, a wonderful neutral paint color that has been popular for quite a while, and in this video I'm going to give you a palette pyramid utilizing this color along with 5 other colors. Today's sponsor is us. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. We're more than just a paint store, we are your partner in bringing color to life. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. The way we do color palettes here on the Paint People channel is to put them in a triangle, because of course that is the strongest shape ever made. Were shapes made, or have they always existed? If you're new here, I'm James, this is the Paint People, and this is Palette Pyramids, where I give you a color palette in pyramid fashion, because I think that's the best way to put colors together. You start with the main color up top, which is the pinnacle of your pyramid. It's the color that everything else is based off of. You have your secondary colors down below, and then you finish off with your finishing colors. These are going to be your accent colors that are going to be more saturated, maybe a little more bright and vibrant and fun. The seasoning on the entire palette itself. Let's go through it, starting with Muslin, which is the color, of course, in question. I'm questioning my own sanity at this moment, because I am a bit loopy. This happens to be one of Benjamin Moore's best-selling colors. It is a neutral, it is easy breezy, it's a bit warm leaning as well, which I think is quite advantageous in today's design climate. And that's why I'm going to put Muslin right at the top of the pyramid to start things off. This is going to be the main color of this palette. And that simply means that this is the color that you really start with. This is your default choice. It is the one color that you could theoretically use as the only color in your home. But of course, you probably want to use more than one color, right? Muslin has a 66-ish LRV, which means it reflects that % of light, which is pretty good. I think that's a very good place to be. Not too light, not too dark. A color that plays well with others. And we have 5 others in this palette. I won't talk too much about Muslin because we did a dedicated review on it in the description down below and in the cards up top. I always mix that up. And I'll also put it at the end of the video, so don't you worry. So let's move right down to that second tier on the palette pyramid. It is, of course, the support colors. These are going to be your secondary options, either in the form of other neutrals that work well with the main color, or an off-white that would be great on things like trim and baseboards and doors and frames. My white paint color choice would be Mountain Peak White in this palette, and it has an 88 LRV, so it's much brighter than Muslin. It will come across as a straight up white, but what I like about it is, like Muslin, it has a little bit of that warmth in the background. Just a touch of creaminess, a hint of yellow warmth that is very subtle, and I really do enjoy how this color interacts with other warm neutrals. It's not going to feel too yellow, it's not going to feel overly creamy, it's just there enough to coordinate really, really well. Very clean, very crisp, awesome choice as a white paint color. I wouldn't use this on walls per se, personally, because it is bright enough that it's going to be really annoying to apply. Like many, many coats to get that perfect white, pure look. This is going to be an awesome choice, however, for those doors, for the baseboards, the trims, your ceilings, crown molding, things like that. Even kitchen cabinets. Why not? As long as not everything is white. I don't like the white on white on white look, as some of you may know, my subscribers. The second support color is not an off-white. This is going to be another neutral, another warmer leaning neutral, but it's going to give you a little more depth, a little more richness, and therefore more saturation. It's a color called Bleaker Beige from the Historical Colors collection, and this one is quite a bit darker. It has about a 51, 52 light reflectance value. So what that means is it's going to reflect less light, it's going to absorb more light, and it's just going to give you a darker feeling color. Benjamin Moore describes it as a medium buff tone. It's very buff. It's a very buff color. Essentially a mid-tone beige with some brown, a bit of gray mixed in as well, so it feels a bit subdued, kind of subtle, but much more saturated than Muslin. The way that I like to incorporate these two colors interchangeably is Bleaker Beige will suit those brighter parts of your home where you get a ton of light coming in, where Muslin might feel a little washed out because it is lighter, it has less saturation. Bleaker Beige brings more of that, so it will stand on its own a little bit better. It'll feel like it has a little more body to it. And it can also be used in the same space as muslin if you wanted, let's say, a very subtle accent wall, just a hair darker than muslin, still with that same sort of family of colors. I think that could work as well. You can even use bleaker beige as a subtle darker trim color. If you didn't want to go with white in a specific space, bleaker beige could also work as a trim color where it wasn't a bright clean white, it was more of a slightly darker muted neutral. There is enough of a difference between them where you can actually distinguish one from the other even when they're really close together. So main color is done, support colors through. What about your finishing colors? Now these are going to be the fun options, the little bit of spice on the color palette to just add that extra dimension. You get 3 of them in this palette pyramid, but don't think you have to use all 3, especially in the same space. Really, they're there because I want to give you some options, and maybe not everyone's into subtle turquoisey greens like woodland green, which is the first finishing color. And this is going to be a mid-tone color, very much a cool, slightly minty green, but it also feels toned down with some gray. It's kind of a cool sage green in a way. Just has a wonderful sense of balance, which is great because if you are using it with neutrals like muslin and bleaker beige, you still want a little bit of that warmth to keep it tied together. It'll do that. If you want something a little more in opposition, maybe you don't really care about the green aspect, you really want to go heavy into that blue-gray aspect, well, that's where Amsterdam comes into play, which is our second finishing color. And this one has just under a 30 LRV, so a much deeper color. I still wouldn't call it really all that dark in the traditional sense. Like, it's not a 3 LRV black paint color. This one is kind of a darker mid-tone. It's actually maybe a bit similar to the shirt I'm wearing. What I like about it is, even though it is quite clearly in that blue direction, it almost feels like a slate blue-gray in actuality. Kind of acts a little bit like a neutral where it's just kind of passive in terms of its coloration, but the coloration is there and it's much different than the neutrals we talked about earlier. So a bit of a soft accent color that I really enjoy, and it's one that you don't need to feel shy about using in more than one use case. So it's not just the color you paint your fun cabinet with. This is a color you can use in rooms, in bedrooms especially. I think Amsterdam would be great. Bathrooms could work as well, but maybe woodland green would be even better for that. So that's just how my brain works. Welcome to it. My third finishing color harkens back to the warmer neutrals, but we have a darker color here as well. It's a 28 LRV brownie color called Cabot Trail. And the way that I've seen it described is a charcoal brown with a bit of a moss green undertone. That's how Benjamin Moore describes it. I almost see it as a bit of a bronze leaning taupe, if that makes sense. So it's a combination of brown, a little bit of gray to soften it, and then that touch of bronze with maybe a little bit of a patina. So there is a touch of green happening there too, but it is subtle. It is more of an undertone. It's not a green forward color whatsoever, especially next to woodland green. Then you can really see the difference there. But what I like here is you have another color that is rich, darker, not overly dark, still neutral. So it's going to play nicely with bleaker beige, muslin, and then it's going to work fine with the other 2 finishing colors. So I also want to let you know that we offer custom color palettes to our customers. Whether you have a 3 color palette pyramid that you want for maybe 1 room, 6 colors like these videos, or even our larger 11 color palettes for those big projects, I can do them for you. Link in the description down below. What's awesome is you can get an 11 color palette today, but use the finishing colors next year or the year after, because again, mix and match, interchangeable, they all work together. At least I think so. Here's the palette pyramid all together. Please let me know what you think. And we have another video right over here.